Get up in here. Let's get on up in and check these the medias. Make sure we good. You means make sure we good. All right, we live on that. Make sure we good on the Twitters. All right. Without with it. Without with it. Let's go. Let's get up in here. Weekly picks. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we doing next week also. We doing our Super Bowl picks. We doing our Super Bowl picks. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are doing our Super Bowl picks next week. I'm just waiting on this Eagles 49ers game. That's it. That's it. That's all. I'm gonna down to John. Let's check this. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we just waiting. I'm waiting for y'all to get up in here before we start these picks. You ain't gonna have me going over it and all this nonsense. Like, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing it, cousin. You in here? Let me get a husky John. Where y'all at, though? Where you at, dude? Wham. Get up in here and get these picks. Get up in here, picks. Get up in and let's get these picks. Say, get in these picks. Get up and get these picks. Hey, get up in these picks. Get all up in these picks. Oh, man. I'm going to play a little something for y'all. We got a theme song. I just put this out. Even though I put it out back in 2008, for the sake of y'all not knowing, I just created this. You know what I'm saying? For my name, Geechee A. Smith. Just in case y'all know who I am.
Yeah, they call him Geechee.
Go figure it out. Right?
Yeah. It all started as a pure scheme. Enough niggas
we gonna start this countdown. We gonna get to it.
Spots like Fort Greene, worked McDonald's. I was 14. Turn that money to raw. Once employed as employed to get more cream. Even shot up blocks like morphine. Shot at cops. Chosen knock hustlers, ignore fiends. I make you niggas believers. Never was a dreamer. Burn some niggas with heaters and try to join us beating. Cocksuckers. I know these cops watching. Plus they rewinding the footage like blockbuster. Niggas got glocks but not busting. Say something, or watch my niggas cock back, empty your slate something, man. A lot of niggas stay frontin', so I got guns to back it. Plus all the rocks are full metal jackets. The rules into heavy metal, watch me blast it. We toe tag facts, place on my metal wrapped in plastic. Trash it is trash. Was an open and shut case, stay open 38s. I shut the casket on your face. Wanted me to berate all actions that take place. This here the raps the game, not pussy charges to the game. I said charges to the
they
game.
Call him Geechee.
You know who I
Geechee A. Smith. That's what they call him. They call him Geechee A. Smith. What is up with y'all? It is episode 14, week 13 in the NFL. Oh, man. We got some bangers for you. We got some hot butter garbage as always. Because for real, there's 5 to 6 good teams in NFL. Everybody else is watching and waiting and seeing what everybody else is doing. doing, right? But with no further ado, we're gonna bring your man to the stage. Your man, Mr. Shout outs to BR. And I ain't talking about the battle rap community, you mean? We talking about Bleacher Report. Shout out to y'all to being the only format that fits correctly into this StreamYard, John. This Thursday night game, I'm gonna need these Cowboys to do their thing Thursday night. I'm gonna need them to do their thing. They playing up against the Seahawks. Seahawks are fraudulent as always. Um, yeah, I don't have too much good to say about the Seahawks. I don't know why people think they're that good. Anytime they play anyone good, they lose. That's how it was last year. That's why they took the exit that they took. They just so happened to beat, I think, who was it? The Lions, who are also equally frauds. It's really Cowboys, 49ers, Eagles on the NFC side, then it's Chiefs, Ravens. That might be about it on the AFC side. Chiefs, Ravens, maybe the Dolphins, depending on who they play. And the Broncos are actually sneaky. I take it back, Sean Payton. My bad. My bad. It depends on how y'all finish this year, though. Because y'all beating teams you should be beating, to be honest with you. But you did beat the Chiefs. However, the Chiefs can't catch a cold right now. The Chiefs are horrible. Their wide receivers are complete garbage. But the Cowboys, they're doing what they've been doing all year, beating up on really bad teams. Even the point spread is showing that. So we're going to continue with that theme, um, and allow them to keep doing what they do. We taking the Cowboys and the over 47. Man, they're gonna blow them boys out. Seahawks gonna put up some points, but I mean maybe like three. Cowboys offense is crazy. Stop Dak slander hashtag is in full effect. We got to stop that Dak slander. All right. Now, I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes or anything like that, but Dak Prescott is serviceable. He's a good quarterback. He's a very good quarterback. Actually, I wanted the 49ers to draft Dak. Here's something interesting. I thought they were going to draft Dak when Chip Kelly was the coach because I thought Dak was going to be up Chip Kelly's alley the way Dak played football in Mississippi. But I'm glad they didn't, to be honest with you. Because we probably wouldn't have got Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is like one of the most accurate football players, quarterbacks I've seen, and the statistics back that up. I mean, Brock Purdy's doing his thing. He's wearing 13 like Dan Marino. He don't throw like Dan Marino. Don't get it misconstrued. I'm not saying he's Dan Marino, but he's just as accurate as Dan Marino and Drew Brees are. And Kyle Shanahan's system thrives on accuracy, so he's doing his thing. I'm not mad at him. Um, he is doing his thing, but we're taking the Cowboys. We ain't even gonna hold you on that Thursday night game because there's a thing. At least the Cowboys have a week in between their Thursday games. Having two Thursday games in a row, at least there's a week in between. Next up, speaking of the Broncos doing better than at the beginning of the year, myself included, we were like, ew, uh, Broncos, let's ride. Y'all were, yeah, y'all weren't doing y'all thing. Um, Sean Payton has tightened his ship up. Sometimes it does just take good leadership. Now, Sean Payton does have good leadership. I still don't trust his coaching. Um, but he does have good leadership because that's why that team that was the same team that was getting blown out, so on and so forth, is now winning games and have a winning record. Can potentially be a playoff team, especially if they beat the Texans. So this game lets me just determine which team is which. You know what I mean? Are the Texans on a downswing now, and being exposed to who they really are, or the Broncos getting better, or have the Texans just just were unfortunate in their last game against the Jags, who were just playing their little hearts out, weren't they? Little Jaguars, little Easter egg, Easter head island head ass, Trevor Lawrence. Um, Russell Wilson is doing well with the ball. He's not turning it over. That is key. That is important, especially in the Sean Payton scheme. So people are going to be running up in the Sean Payton scheme. So Russ Wilson is doing pretty well in that. But I do like the Texans because they are home. I'm a little scared of that 3.5 though, just because of Russell Wilson. To be honest with you, he has that. It's like Jalen Hurts. They just that clutch gene. When it's time to turn it on, they just turn it on. They won't be good for 4 quarters, 58 minutes of the 60 minutes, but then that 2 minutes, they just know how to turn it on for some reason. So the 3.5 scares me a little bit. Because it was at 2.5, and that's why I picked it. I just changed it just now, to be honest with you. So I'm scared at 3.5, and I'm gonna rock with it because CJ Stroud's gonna have a bounce back game against Broncos defense that is going to give up those points. Pause. So let's do it. Let's do it. Next up. Come on, we ain't got time to be ain't advertising none of y'all. Hold on. Let me make sure. I ain't skip one. All right. All right, next up, Cardinals Steelers. Ain't much to say about this. The Cardinals are who the Cardinals are, and the Steelers are a product of Mike Tomlin. So y'all gonna stop disrespecting him as a coach. I told y'all he's a very, very, very good coach. Man, you put you give the 49ers team to Mike Tomlin, they won the last 4 Super Bowls. Guarantee it. I think he's a better coach than Kyle Shanahan. However, he don't have the team that Kyle Shanahan has. Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch has built a monster. They got first round talent across the first front 7, 8, 9. I mean, all across the field. Every major level, there's a first round talent on it. Every major level, defensive end, linebacker, safety, corner. Brock Purdy, you can argue, is a first round talent, even though he's a 7th round pick. Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Trent Williams. I mean, that's literally first round talent on every major level, and he has 0 championships to show for it. But Mike Tomlin, I think, would have had about 4 with this team because he would have known what to do with Trey Lance. But I digress. Um, I like what they do. I like what the Steelers do because they're built on their leadership, and he's just grit, and he's looking like he's about to go another season without a non-losing record. He's never had a losing record. I don't understand. I don't think y'all understand how hard that is. Even Belichick has a losing season. They were just in the playoffs last year, weren't they? Okay. All right. Y'all tell me. Y'all let me know. So with that said, I like my mans in them. I don't like rooting for the Steelers because when I was booked out in Western Pennsylvania, there was no Steeler fans, boy. Whoo, they almost as bad as Eagles fans. Almost, almost. But I rock more with the Pittsburgh dudes out west than I did with the Philly dudes up north. If you know, you know. Next up, speaking of losing records, 2 coaches that may not potentially be here next year for one reason or another, and probably be the best thing for each organization is that both of these coaches move on and they just start afresh. It's time for Tom Brady. I mean, not Tom Brady. Yeah, it's Tom Brady. Yeah, that's what I did. I said that on purpose. Tom Brady is the reason they got all those rings. Belichick hasn't had a ring since. He hasn't had a winning record like that since they went last year with Mac Jones to the playoffs, but that was a fluke. Chargers, Brandon Staley, he's getting worse every year. He's wasting the prime of Justin Herbert's career. Justin Herbert puts up phenomenal numbers. He's a great quarterback, and it's just being wasted. It took them 2 years too late to figure it out, but at least they're figuring it out. Um, I still do like the Chargers over the Patriots because the Patriots are just trash. They might be tanking for Caleb or one of the quarterbacks, more than likely. Could be, but doesn't make them less horrible. In my next up, Colts Titans. How about a garbage FC South game? I ain't gonna go back and forth with you, Ziggins. I ain't gonna spend a lot of time on it. The Titans, they already said that Mike Vrabel's coming back. I don't know why. He's just like Brandon Staley. The writing's on the wall, but they'll have to figure it out them damn selves. Until they figure it out, we're gonna pick the Colts. We're gonna go under because both these teams are not that good. One of these teams is not that good. One of the teams is very good. Um, and there's not a lot to say about this game. But there's speaking of another coach that just needs to go because here's the thing: you can just tell when a team just quits on the coach, and that's what the Chargers, the Commanders, the Patriots, soon to be the Jets. Y'all keep playing with them. Um, there's a few off the top of my I can't think off the top of my head, but you can tell when a team quits on the coach because they just don't believe in it. They don't believe in the system. They don't believe what's going on in it. I'm not gonna wreck my body for you, and I don't believe in this system, and I know you trash. I don't see how some of these coaches get head coaching gigs. I really don't. But that's on owners to pay people $60 million not to be in the building anymore. Must be fun to just throw $60 million away. It must be amazing. Must be really, really amazing. And what's amazing is the ass whooping that the Dolphins is going to give to the Commanders. That's also going to be amazing. Next up, we got the Falcons and the Jets. Once again, some more hot butter garbage. Um, I just kind of coin toss this one because no one knows what team either are each week and what you're getting. I went with the home team and the boost of morale of Aaron Rodgers coming back. We're gonna go with the Jets and under because they both have pretty serviceable defenses. So both defenses are probably going to show up. It's probably going to look like what the Bears and the Vikings game look like. One of those type games. Very trash like. Very trash like. It's gonna be a quick week. It's gonna be a real quick week, brothers. Because I don't like any of these games enough to really spend a lot of time with them. The Saints and the Lions. It's gonna be one of those games that the Lions are gonna beat up on the Saints team, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, see, them boys are back." You know what I mean? And then let's just say the Lions win and the 49ers lose, and the Lions gonna be back in second place. And Lions think they're gonna be good again, but they're gonna be like how the Vikings were that one year where they were like the 3 seed and they lost to the 7th seed. I know that's not mathematically correct. I think it was a 2 and a 7, whereas 3 and they were 6. I think it was 3 and 6. The Giants when they lost to the Giants. Um, that's the Lions of this year. That's what I think they are. Obviously, everything is subjective until it actually happens. But the Lions don't scare anyone except for teams like the Saints and fringe teams that are like B-listers. Um, but once again, the Saints are B-listers. They're playing in a dome, so it's going to be good conditions for Jared Goff in his weak manhood. So we're just gonna go with we're gonna rock with the Lions. You land. You lying to me, brother. You are lying to me, brother. Next up, I went a little fast. I don't know. My shit always lagging. I can't stand it. Next up, we got the Panthers and the Bucks. Um, NFC slouch. I ain't gonna spend a lot of time with this because it was at 37. Now it's at 30. I mean, it was at 39. Now it's at 37. Uh, into at your own risk. Um, I had over 39 anyway, so I'm still rock with the over because I think the Bucks are just gonna put up more points than the Panthers. That's just about it. Um, Actually, I will go with the under on that one. Go with the under. Go with the under on the Bucks and the Panthers. I see a lot of turnovers. Go with the under. Um, just, but I still am rocking with the Bucks at the 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. Next game we got. Yeah, buddy. This one right here, buddy. You can tell I'm excited by the way I'm yawning. Um, After the Eagles win over Buffalo in overtime, the game opened up at 1 point favorites for the 49ers. And then as the weeks progressed, it was 2.5. It was 2.5 as of early this morning. Now it's at 3. And Lane Johnson is supposedly coming back and is supposed to be healthy, but Fletcher Cox might be out. Pause. Um, Fletcher Cox is pivotal in the run game and the run stuffing for the Eagles. Um, Without Fletcher Cox there, CMC might and Debo might run all over these boys, and use their aggressiveness against them. Um, the play that Brock Purdy got hurt last year in the NFC Championship game, Brandon Ayuk was wide open. He was about to hit Ayuk. That was part of Brock Purdy's issue last year, was holding on to the ball too long. Now, I think he's learned his lesson. He's getting that ball out a little bit quicker. He's a little bit more accurate. I want to see what this team can do. The Eagles saying the 49ers were crying because, oh, we lost our quarterback. We ain't just lose our quarterback. We lost 3 of our quarterbacks. 4, because then we had Christian McCaffrey as an emergency quarterback. Like, come on, you can't feel good about that. But then now y'all ain't 100% because Fletcher Cox is out and Lane Johnson is 100%. So maybe that's why the 3. Or it just might be the way the Eagles won against Buffalo. Um, so I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see who this is for NFC supremacy for the week for the regular season. These two teams will meet again for the NFC title, more than likely. And I think the outcome is going to be similar. And that's why I'm waiting until next week to for my Super Bowl pick because I mean I can pick it. I think it's going to be 49ers Chiefs rematch. But if the Eagles win, it's going to be Eagles Chiefs rematch. Watch out for those Ravens though, because it could be 49ers Ravens rematch. But I think it's the Chiefs are just the Chiefs at this point. They really are. Like the Chiefs are crazy, and they have a defense to go with it. The 49ers number one ranked offense and defense by some of these ranks. And Chiefs I think are like 2. So I'm going 49ers Chiefs as my low key pick. But next week we're gonna actually break it down and show you who I'm picking. You know what I'm saying, Zickens? But yeah, we are. There's no surprise. We rocking with the Bang Bang Niners gang? Are you? Not even going to do it to y'all. Y'all already know what I'm wearing. That's why I'm wearing red. That's why everything's red. But besides the Whoopingtons, it is about Bang Bang 49ers gang. You hear me? I Browns Rams. Joe Flacco versus Matthew Stafford potentially. Um, Not only is Deshaun Watson out, but DTR has a concussion, so Joe Flacco was taking reps. It don't matter. The Browns weren't really relying on the quarterback position in their games. Their defense is bananas, and their run game is serviceable. Um, they might actually have a better quarterback now. with Joe Flacco, basically, because Deshaun Watson has been horrible and DTR is a rookie. The Rams are getting healthier, but that doesn't mean anything. The Rams are trash. They're just not that good. But I think they are better than the Browns. So I think the Rams at home are going to do something that the 49ers couldn't do, which is beat the Browns. Looking with my rounds. Speaking of AFC dominance, we have the Chiefs and the Packers. Battle of Super Bowl one. Super Bowl one. Where the Packers won the first two Super Bowls. One of them was against the Chiefs. 65 toss power trap. Hank Stram, he had a hammer. Pause. Right. Everybody know it was on the Packers teams back then. I'm trying to think of all the Chiefs guys. What was the Lenny Dawson, the quarterback? They were a solid team. They were no match for those Packers, though. That's why the trophy is called the Lombardi Trophy, because of Vince Lombardi. Won the first two Super Bowls, man. Good night. And I think the Chiefs will get retribution for what they did to them back in the 60s. I'm not even going to spend a lot of time with this. Chiefs Sunday night game. To be real, the 49ers and the Eagles probably should have got flexed to this. I mean, but you really can't be playing that late in Philadelphia, 8 o'clock at night. So I get why he did it. 4 o'clock is a little too late. Still, it's going to be cold. It's going to be dark. Man, listen. Last but not least, we got the Bengals and the Yags. The Bengals defense is serviceable. So is the Yags. But Joey Burrow is out. So that is a key factor in the Bengals imploding for the rest of the year. Jaguars are not as good as their record is, though. That's what's crazy. They're really not that good. They just are products of a bad AFC and an easy schedule. And the AFC South is completely horrible. One of their losses is actually to the Texans. Like, I mean, Jags aren't that good. They're going to make it far just because the NFL is. I actually somewhat agree with Tom Brady because they're really level competition really isn't that good. It's like 5-6 teams and that's it. Jaguars are not one of those teams, and neither is Trevor Lawrence. I'm not going to spend a lot of time with it. I hate this game. I hate that it's on Monday night. But these last few Monday nights, I've been going to bed early. So I've been actually enjoying the fact that these games have been hot butter garbage. So I'm fine with that. Listen, I like the Bengals with the 8.5, but I think the Jags are going to win. So if you're doing the money line, make sure you grab the Jags to win. If you're doing 8.5, do the Bengals because the Jags aren't going to beat them by that much because you got to put some respect on their defense. All right, those are your picks. Those are your picks for the week. As always, like, share, subscribe, comment down below for some things you want us to talk about, getting to discuss. Who do you think your Super Bowl picks are for this week? Stop being scared. Let me hear something. What you got for me out there? Huh? What you got for me? Huh? Who am I? Yeah. They call him Geechee. Call him Geechee. Yeah. It all started as a pure scheme. Enough niggas in my team. My first class like Green. Rick McDonald's, I was 14. Turn that money to raw. Was employed as employed to get more cream. He was